Will excess protein turn into sugar on a ketogenic diet? That's what we're going to talk about today. This is one of the most common points of contention and confusion among ketogenic diet gurus. And a lot of people, I can't tell you how many clients I've had come to me that are eating ridiculously low levels of protein because of the confusion around this subject. Does too much protein turn into sugar on a ketogenic diet? All right, so let's start out. I don't even know where to start. Let's go with the medical ketogenic diet and where this came from. So the medical ketogenic diet was developed in the 1920s as a treatment for refractory epilepsy in little kids with epileptic seizures that were drug resistant. No other drugs were working for these kids, but a ketogenic diet ended up being a powerful therapy for keeping them seizure free, and it worked when no other drugs would work. So for these kids, it was very, very important to maintain a strict level of ketosis all the time. These kids would get seizures if they were not in ketosis. So that's the medical ketogenic diet. It was developed to treat refractory epilepsy in kids. It was developed to treat kids with drug-resistant epilepsy who were growing, kids who needed to maintain a high level of caloric intake. And for these kids, it was really hard to maintain this medical ketogenic diet. The medical ketogenic diet was about 80% fat, 15% protein, and 5% carbohydrate. Now, for the average individual today using a ketogenic diet, medical ketogenic diet ratios are not relevant. I've said this 100 times, 100 different ways, and I gotta say it again. Medical ketogenic diet ratios are irrelevant for people using a ketogenic diet for fat loss. For most people, I'd say like 95% of people using a ketogenic diet, the medical ketogenic diet is not what you're going to be doing. There's no reason to do medical level ketosis for most of these individuals. If you're looking to lose body fat, wasting $5 to $10, $15 a day reading your blood ketone levels on these $5 a piece strips, unfortunately, is not helping you make progress. More blood ketones, higher ketones, does not equal more fat loss. Let me explain to you why. Or just give you one example so that this can illustrate to you the point that I'm trying to make. You can artificially elevate your blood ketones by taking a bunch of MCT oil or by taking exogenous ketones. So if you take a whole bunch of MCT oil, your liver will produce ketones, will convert it into ketones. Does this mean that you're burning more body fat? No. It just means that you push your ketones up by giving yourself a bunch of MCT. That doesn't mean that you're burning more body fat. So eating 200, 300, 400 grams of fat per day and trying to lose fat, sure, you're going to get into ketosis. Eventually, you're going to have real high blood ketones if you're eating 100 grams of fat from MCT a day. If you're eating so much fat, yes, you're going to push your ketone levels up, but you're not going to be burning body fat, and you probably won't be able to digest half that fat. One of the most common mistakes that I see being made, one of the most common mistakes I see my clients making when they come to me is being afraid of protein. I'm talking about like 50 grams of protein, people eating 40, 50 grams of protein per day. This is well below what you need to maintain your lean muscle tissue, to maintain your sanity, and to get the satiety that you desire. Protein brings satiety. Protein is required for making human growth hormone. It's required for replacing broken down tissue, rebuilding tissues. We need protein. Going too low on protein, in my experience, is more common than eating too much protein for people trying to lose weight on a ketogenic diet. That's not to say that eating protein in gross excess to what you require, that eating like 2 grams per pound of your body weight, of course, you're going to be oxidizing amino acids for energy. And you're not going to be in ketosis because you're going to be burning a bunch of protein up. You're feeding yourself far more. But a few more grams of protein than what these gurus are not even defining. Like, these people are saying, oh, too much protein, it turns into sugar. Too much protein, it turns into sugar. Without even defining what too much protein is. So when you're trying to formulate your diet, protein, I'll make it real easy for you. Anywhere from 0.5 to 0.8 grams per pound of your lean body mass should be sufficient protein. Whether you're weight training, higher level athletics, which is not just weight training 3 times a week, going to the gym 3 times a week, and every once in a while posing in your underwear with a bunch of other dudes does not make you a high-level athlete. I'm sorry. Come on. You know it. You know it. But even if you are a high-level athlete, basketball player, hockey player, something like that, you don't need more than 0.8 grams per pound of your lean body mass to maximize your gains from the hypertrophy training or whatever type of training you're doing, breaking down muscle tissue. So 0.5 to 0.8 grams per pound of your lean body mass is plenty sufficient for a ketogenic diet. In kilos, that might be anywhere from 1 to 2 grams per pound of your lean body mass. I'm sorry, per kilo of your lean body mass. So, there it is, guys. Excess protein, does it turn directly into sugar? No! A small percentage of those amino acids in protein can be converted into glucose, but that doesn't mean that all the extra substrate will be converted into glucose. Also, we have to define what excess is. It's not like your body has this governor switch where every single extra bite above whatever magic number will magically turn into sugar. That's not how it works. Some amino acids can be turned into glucose and will when your body requires it. Now, all the studies done on gluconeogenesis, which is not your enemy, which is required for proper ketosis, which is required for proper health. You need to be able to engage in gluconeogenesis, the generation of glucose from other substrates like protein or the glycerol backbone from fatty acids. So not only protein can be converted into amino acids, but also glycerol. So if you're using this logic of every extra bite of protein will automatically turn into sugar, so then also shouldn't every extra bite of fat also turn into sugar because glycerol can be used to produce glucose. That's not how it works. Your body does it on a need basis. Gluconeogenesis, in all the studies done, gluconeogenesis is not a substrate-driven process. It is a demand-driven process, meaning your body does it when it needs to. Your body's very intelligent. So anyways, extra protein, is it something you probably need to be worried about? I'd say for most of the people that are concerned, oh, no, I don't want to eat too much protein. Most of those people are not eating too much protein. And in fact, a lot of them are eating less protein than they need because they're afraid of it, because they've been told that a little bit extra protein, a few extra bites are going to turn into cake as soon as it hits your mouth. And then that's going to break your progress. You have to understand that ketosis is not required to lose body fat. It is a very effective way to lose body fat, but it's not required. Also, if you look more into gluconeogenesis, you'll realize it is not the enemy of mankind, the enemy of ketosis. It is actually required, and it is a very important process. We wouldn't be alive without it. We wouldn't be able to go several hours without food without gluconeogenesis. Certain parts of the brain require glucose. Glucose is not evil. Gluconeogenesis and insulin are not evil. In the context of a ketogenic diet, we do want to minimize insulin. We do want to keep it low. We do want to maintain a hormonal state that is conducive to burning fat. But 1 or 2 bites of protein beyond whatever guru told you is required will not break all your progress. It's nothing to worry about. Please stop stressing so much about extra protein. Most people don't need to worry about that. Anyways, you can find more at primaledgehealth.com. Might as well plug my wife's book while I'm at it. Check out the Ketogenic Edge cookbook. If you're just starting keto and you want macro-friendly recipes, fat loss-friendly recipes that all contain the macros, my wife, Jessica, recently released the Ketogenic Edge cookbook, a training manual for low-carb, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. I always stumble over that title. But it's more than just a cookbook. It is a training manual. There's so much content in this book, it's ridiculous. She's got an entire section on how to use organ meats. She's got an entire section on how to use spice combinations to bring out different flavors, how to make things taste a little bit sweeter without adding sweeteners, just through spice manipulation. There's an entire section on how to make your keto kitchen. it's it's just ridiculous, the amount of detail that she put into this book, the amount of hours that went into creating this. We're so happy to finally share it with you. So check it out at primaledgehealth.com. All the recipes got macros, and they're all fat loss friendly. We're not shoving 100 grams of fat down your throat per meal. And she actually teaches you in this book how to manipulate the macros, how to change certain ingredients to add or subtract fats or protein so that you can hit your macros consistently. So this is by far the most beneficial keto book you're going to find out there. It's available exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. It's available in ebook format. So yeah, check it out. primaledgehealth.com. You probably don't need to be afraid of protein. And look more into gluconeogenesis. Look into the research done on gluconeogenesis and how it is a demand-driven process, not a substrate-driven process. So that extra bite of protein that you've been fearing, you can actually use that mental and emotional energy and put it towards something constructive rather than worrying about your blood ketone levels all the time. All right. Trying to bring some sanity to a subject which is subject to much insanity. Check out more at primaledgehealth.com. If you want coaching, you can hit us up in the coaching section. And check out Jessica's cookbook, the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, a training manual for low-carb, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. Ooh, got it that time. All right, guys, signing out from the Andes of Ecuador, where it is nice and sunny today, and hopefully stays that way for the next few days or months, because we've been getting mudslides like crazy here. All right, see you guys next time. primaledgehealth.com. Bye-bye.